It is a big day for Decision 2024 coverage. Right now in New Hampshire, voters are filtering in and out of the polling locations, taking part in the state's primary election. There are two races in particular that we're keeping an eye on, the governor's race and Congressional District 2. And after tonight, we will know which Democrats and which Republicans will square off against each other in November.
A lot of storylines to follow here. Tonight is also the first debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. The last time we saw a presidential debate, it changed the trajectory of the entire race. Now a lot of people are wondering the same thing. Will tonight's debate do the same thing? A big day calls for big coverage. NBC 10 politicos Matt Pritchard and Sue O'Connell are standing by, but we begin in New Hampshire, where Malcolm Johnson spent the day asking primary voters what they want to see in tonight's debate. All right, Malcolm, set the stage for us.
Hey, good evening, Glenn. Well, right now we are joining you from the Terry McAuliffe School. This is, as you said, in Concord, New Hampshire. Take a look. We have seen hundreds of voters making their way inside of this Ward 5 precinct here, and we've been crisscrossing the state to find out who it is that they are looking to address the issues tonight. Of course, here locally, they are going to be voting for Congress and for governor, but when it comes to tonight's presidential debate, it might be the only time that we get to see Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump square off against one another. So we wanted to hear from the voters specifically, what do you want to hear addressed in this debate?
The cost of housing is insane compared to what it used to be, and especially with regard to how much money people are making these days.
Education and about housing.
All we've heard from all of them is just constant bickering back and forth about each other, and we haven't heard any real policies out there.
As a middle-class mom with a 3-year-old, this child care debate that we are having right now is really timely. I'm expecting Trump to be able to speak to it with real authority and with a plan. And I think that Kamala should also have some really good answers on that.
So you just heard from some of the voters that we were able to catch up with, whether it's housing, child care, or the economy and the border. The issues range far and wide, but coming up at 5 o'clock, you'll hear from some of the voters on what they said is the issue they are most interested in hearing discussed tonight. For now, we're live reporting in Concord, New Hampshire. I'm Malcolm Johnson, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, thank you, Malcolm, and welcome back. Meanwhile, political reporter Matt Pritchard joining us now. Matt, get us ready. How will tonight's debate work?
Yeah, Priscilla, scheduling a presidential debate is really an exercise in deal-making. Each campaign wants to have conditions perfect for their candidate and oftentimes spend weeks haggling over what the rules should be. Now, the guidelines for tonight are as follows. Candidate microphones will be turned off when they aren't speaking, no live audience, and no pre-written notes or talking points. Answers and rebuttals will be limited to 2 minutes, and each candidate will get a minute for responses and follow-ups. Now, the debate is hosted by ABC News, but will be simulcast across several television networks, including right here on NBC 10 Boston, starting at 9 p.m. with a scheduled runtime of 90 minutes. This could be our only chance to see these two presidential contenders debate. A follow-up has yet to be scheduled, but on October 1st, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz will share the debate stage for the vice presidential debate. Back to you.
All right, Matt Pritchard, thank you. We've got all the political brains with us tonight. Sue O'Connell enters the chat. So, Sue, what does each candidate have to do tonight? Walk us through what Harris needs to do and what Trump needs to do in order to be victorious in front of the voters.
So Harris has to introduce herself to those low information but likely to vote voters, folks that are just starting to pay attention now that it's September, and be the prosecutor that she is. Present an opening and closing argument about why she is the choice to move America forward. And let's face it, because she is a woman and sexism is indeed a thing, she has to appear likable yet serious. And she has no room to make any mistakes. Trump, on the other hand, has to resist his natural urge to personally attack Harris. Instead, he has to attack her policies, both with the Biden administration and what she and Walz have proposed. And he has to appear young, vibrant, and coherent, which was not a priority when he was debating Biden.
Sue O'Connell, Matt Pritchard, Malcolm Johnson, thank you all. We'll have special coverage of the presidential debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump tonight, hosted by ABC News. Tune into NBC 10 Boston starting at 8 o'clock.
We are following